In the shadowy world of Illuminati, few names resonate quite like Fritz Springmeier. Hold on to your hats, guys, because if you don't know about Fritz, you are in for an eye-opener. Fritz Springmeier first published his book, Bloodlines of the Illuminati, in 1995, and it rocked the establishment. It remains highly censored. Within it, he presents compelling historic evidence, experience, and observations about the elite and their connections to politics, banking, many industries, but most notably, their core occult belief system. You see, Fritz was involved with mind control and ritual abuse as a member of the elite until he got out and he exposed them big time. This is a very sensitive topic. The video that you are listening to was widely censored by the creation software InVideo. Also, Amazon will not let me put a link to the book as an Amazon associate, so we'll see if I'm able to upload it on YouTube and keep it there. The controllers definitely don't want people to know about this. I think because it goes beyond the political rhetoric and delves into the occult belief systems that these demons live by. It is as sacred to them as your religious beliefs are to you. Scary, huh? Fritz Springmeier's Bloodlines of the Illuminati explores the history and influence of powerful families, detailing their roles in shaping global events and institutions. A direct quote from his introduction seeks to introduce you to the Illuminati and goes as follows. They control the major and minor political parties. They control the process of government. They control the process of information flow. They control the process of creating money. And finally, they control Christendom. However, God controls the hearts of his people. He goes on to write that, in short, the Illuminati are generational satanic bloodlines which have gained the most power. Published in 1995, Bloodlines of the Illuminati stands as Fritz Springmeier's magnum opus, a meticulously detailed exposé on the global elite that he alleges controls the world. Springmeier explains that these families, through generations of wealth accumulation, strategic marriages, and infiltration of key institutions, have established a system of control that permeates every facet of human society. They have many names: the Illuminati, the deep state, the shadow government, the elite, and others, but they are the people that create our external world. Springmeier's theory of control, as outlined in Bloodlines of the Illuminati, hinges on the premise that power is inherited and passed down through generations. Bloodlines of the Illuminati is a tapestry woven from threads of history, religion, and personal accounts. According to Springmeier, there are 13 bloodlines, and we will briefly take a look at each of them in this video. If you want to know more, there will be a link in the description for a free PDF copy of the book. This video is merely an introduction to a very large compendium of information. Before we start, please share this video. I never know how long my videos will stay up, so share them now while you have the chance, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a video. Here we go. The first Illuminati bloodline is the Rothschild family, a name synonymous with wealth, power, and the elite. The Rothschild family's largest holdings today are diverse and span several key sectors, including banking and finance, private equity, and hedge fund ventures. Their portfolio extends to prime real estate, energy projects, healthcare, technology startups, and consumer goods. Additionally, they hold interests in media, infrastructure, sustainability, and luxury goods. This broad range of investments reflects their historic financial influence and diversified approach. And number 2, the Rockefeller family. From the oil fields of Pennsylvania to the gleaming skyscrapers of Manhattan, the Rockefeller name has left an indelible mark on American history and the global landscape. Some of their key holdings include ExxonMobil, Chase Manhattan Bank, JP Morgan Chase, Cargill, which is involved in agriculture and food production, Blackstone Group, General Electric, Pfizer, IBM, Johnson & Johnson, Berkshire Hathaway, and Goldman Sachs. The third family is the Kennedys. That's right, as in John F. Kennedy. Fritz states that Joseph Kennedy had ties to various Illuminati members, including Winston Churchill. He also states that it was well known that John Kennedy Sr. had issues with his parents and the lack of affection that he received growing up. Apparently, it was pretty bad. Also, Some have made observations that while Kennedy Sr. had no problem betting women, he had an inability to connect emotionally. This is one characteristic of people who were subject to ritual abuse as a child. I know this is against everything we thought, but there is no denying that the Kennedys were, and still are, to a lesser extent, one of the most powerful political families. It's not unusual for children raised in Illuminati families to turn against the family. It often involves either alienation from most of the family or maybe even disappearance to escape your genetics. Number 4 is the Onassis family, originally from Greece, gained significant wealth and power through shipping. Aristotle Onassis, the family's patriarch, went from being flat broke to a millionaire in 2 years at age 23. He built a vast shipping empire and became one of the world's most prominent shipping magnates. Springmeier described Aristotle Onassis as an Illuminati king, a shipping tycoon, an intelligent, ruthless, hard-driving man who was a man of the world speaking numerous languages. He married JFK's widow, Jackie Bouvier Kennedy. But this family didn't just control shipping. They are said to be an arm of the Illuminati that controls the mafia or mob, responsible for the disappearance of Howard Hughes. Stavros Niarchos of the Onassis family is also a member of the Bilderberger Group. Family number 5 is the Astor family, a prominent American dynasty, gained wealth and influence primarily through John Jacob Astor, a German immigrant who established a successful fur trading business in the early 19th century. His fortune expanded with investments in real estate, particularly in New York City, where his descendants became influential in social and economic circles. The family's wealth was further augmented by their involvement in shipping and finance. The Astors are well known for their establishment of landmarks like the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. Their legacy extends into various aspects of American history and culture, reflecting their significant impact on the nation's development. John Jacob Astor held leadership positions in various Masonic organizations throughout his life. The Astor men have been described as cruel in their dealings with people below them, such as tenants. Number 6 is the DuPont family, a notable American industrialist clan, rose to prominence through the establishment of a gunpowder manufacturer, which expanded into chemicals, explosives, and later diversified into fields such as agriculture and biotechnology. The DuPont family's influence grew with their innovations in science and industry, shaping American manufacturing and technology. Their works include advancements in materials like nylon, Teflon, and Kevlar. The DuPont family's largest holdings today are concentrated in several key areas, primarily through their stake in DuPont de Nemours, Inc., which focuses on chemicals, materials, science, and biotechnology. They also have significant investments in Corteva, Inc., a major agricultural company, and Chemours Company, a performance chemicals firm. Their portfolio includes various real estate ventures, philanthropic foundations, private equity, and venture capital investments. Additionally, the family has other holdings which reflect the family's diversified interests across multiple sectors and their continued influence in industry. This family is allegedly a top satanic family. Bloodlines are very important when the elite are considering marriage, and the DuPont family has a very high incidence of marriages between relatives of DuPont blood. Number 7 is the Russia's Imperial Romanov family. Today, the Romanov family no longer holds any formal position or influence on the world stage, as they were deposed in 1917 following the Russian Revolution. However, their historical legacy and cultural impact continue to be significant. Various descendants of the Romanov family live in relative obscurity or as private citizens in different countries. Despite their lack of formal power, their legacy remains a notable part of Russian and world history. The 8th Illuminati bloodline that we will cover is the Collins bloodline, who stayed more in the background than some of the other families for a very good reason. Springmeier believes that the Collins bloodline is more about controlling souls than finances. He speaks of the Grandee Mother Collins dressed in black with an ebony and gold moon-shaped throne, where the 13 Grand Council members sit. Number 9 is the Bundy bloodline. They made their money from politics and law. McGeorge Bundy served as National Security Advisor from 1961 to 1966 under Presidents John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson. Bundy was the person who decided what President Lyndon Johnson saw and heard, and what he didn't see or hear after the Kennedy assassination. His brother, William P. Bundy, was also in a key state position at the time. The Bundys also had numerous generational members of the Illuminati Order of the Skull and Crossbones, and they have held various positions within the Bilderberg Group. Fritz speaks quite a bit about the rituals that the Bundy family partook in. Number 10 is the Freeman family, who reportedly made their money through investments in real estate, finance, and industrial enterprises. There is an organization that I think it's best not to put in this video, of which Gaylord Freeman was allegedly Grand Master. Even though he never publicly admitted to being involved with the organization, after his death, the New York Times published an article stating Mr. Freeman was frequently called on by Washington for advice and assistance. Why would a man who never ran for office frequently be called by the White House for advice? Number 11 is the Li family, which has a strong history in China dating back to the Tang dynasty of 618 to 906 AD. The Li family in Hong Kong is a very powerful bloodline in the Illuminati, and they are very respected. Li Ka-shing's financial empire today includes oil, banking, real estate, and media in the Far East and Canada. One point to understand here is that this is not local to the United States or North America. There are captured institutions worldwide under the control of these families. Number 12 is the Russell family, known for their historical significance in England. They have accumulated wealth and power primarily through land ownership, politics, and business ventures. The family's aristocratic roots date back centuries, with titles like the Dukes of Bedford, and their estates and political connections have cemented their status as a powerful and influential family in British history. There are too many Masons in the family bloodline to mention, so I will just mention a few. Charles H. Russell was governor of Nevada from 1950 to 1958 and was 32nd degree Mason. J. Stuart Russell was a Mason and the deputy chairman of the Fed Reserve Bank in Chicago. Lee M. Russell, 1875 to 1943, was a Mason and lieutenant governor of Mississippi. Richard B. Russell, Jr., was a Mason and governor of Georgia from 1931 to 1933 and senator from Georgia after 1933. William H. Russell was a Mason and part owner of the Pony Express, which was a firm made up mainly of Masons. Bill Clinton is descended from Russells. Among other things, Fritz describes how, on the 666th word of his inauguration speech, Clinton launched into a sentence on sacrifice. It will not be easy. It will require sacrifice. But it can be done, and done fairly, not choosing sacrifice for its own sake, but for our own sake. Clinton gave the hand signal of Satanists at the end of his speech. Who thinks of these things? The 666th word? These people are pretty obsessed. Fritz admits that he doesn't have a lot of information on this bloodline, but makes it clear that this is the bloodline of the Antichrist. The Illuminati apparently believes this to be the bloodline of Jesus with a seed of Satan's blood, and it's highly coveted. Fritz lists several books for those who want to learn more about this specific bloodline. He says that this is a huge bloodline that includes many U.S. presidents and other world leaders, stating that within the Illuminati rituals, the emphasis of the 13th bloodline is that they are the seed of Satan. The top 13 bloodlines are not the only illuminating families. Springmeier dedicates nearly one-third of his book to additional Illuminati families, including Reynolds. McDonald, the famed poison fast food that has reportedly contained human DNA when tested. Krupps, who were the primary manufacturer of guns for Lenin in World War I. This is not the same Krupps that makes coffee makers. The Merovingian bloodline has ties to both British royalty and the 13th bloodline. Van Don, founder of a branch of Planned Parenthood, which have promoted sterilizations, birth control, and abortions for over half a century. And a huge amount of information on the Disney family. Those that know haven't been to Disney in a long time, but Disney is the king of deception with its 33rd Club and their cruises that took kids to snorkel off of Epstein's Island. Disney is rumored to be deeply entrenched in MK Ultra brainwashing and hidden satanic content in their movies. Control over the flow of information is as crucial to the Illuminati's alleged grip on power as their control over finance. Elite families, through their ownership of major media outlets, shape public opinion and manufacture consent for their agenda. The mainstream media acts as a propaganda arm for the elite, disseminating narratives that serve their interests. The consolidation of media ownership allows a small group to dictate what information the public receives. This control over the media shapes public perception, demonizes enemies, and manufactures consent for wars and policies. Techniques of propaganda and psychological manipulation influence public opinion and discourage critical thinking. Springmeier views politics as a stage-managed spectacle, creating the illusion of choice while maintaining the Illuminati's grip on power. He argues that political parties are two sides of the same coin, controlled by elite families pulling the strings. Elections are choreographed events with predetermined outcomes. The Illuminati back both sides, ensuring their chosen candidates attain power. This manipulation maintains the status quo and prevents genuine change. Those who rise to power are either complicit or quickly co-opted, their ideals compromised. I hope this video gives you just a small taste of what is happening in our world and inspires you to at least take a look at the free copy of this amazing book, linked in the description.